Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lively here. All right, so let's look at it. This is this week's work. It says SS8H2. That's the standard, the who, why, and how did Georgia become a colony. So if you come over here, now here's something else I want to show you. If you come over here, this will take you automatically to slide 6. Okay. If you go back up and you want to go to a different slide, this one will automatically take you to slide 9. Don't look at that. That tells you the answers. I have to move those out of the way. All right. So here again, here is the shortcut for the Google Slides toolbar. You can zoom into here. You can figure out how to do stuff. Here is how to zoom in to make it bigger so you can see it better. Again, here's the word wall. We'll be working on that probably next week as part of our review. And here's where we're going to start. We're going to start right here with the slide 6 and what's known as the trustee period. A group of 21 trustees, including James Oglethorpe, managed and invested in the settlement of Georgia. The time period from 1732 to 1751 is known as the trustee period. The colony of Georgia was created with 3 main purposes in mind: philanthropy, economics, and defense. Philanthropy, that's a big fancy word for saying charity. It means to promote the welfare of others. So it is started as a way to help out other people. Specifically, James Oglethorpe was concerned about poor people, what he called the worthy poor people. Okay, those were craftsmen, people who actually had skills, blacksmiths, seamstress, store clerk owners, people like that, people who actually had skills and knew how to do stuff, farmers, people who actually knew how to farm. He was concerned about them because he had a friend who'd wound up in debtor's prison. And James Oglethorpe went to go pay his debt to get him out of prison. But by the time he could do that, his friend had already died. So James Oglethorpe said, no one should die in prison just because they're poor. And so eventually, to begin with, he wanted the king to end the system of debtor's prison. But that didn't work out. So he said, hey, we have more people than what we have jobs. So let's find something else for these people to do. He said, we have all this land over here. So why don't we take these people and send them over here, give them some land, and let them have a new opportunity? The king liked it. James Oglethorpe, 20 other trustees, they invested in it. They put their money in it and made it happen. You need to watch this video, which is right here. I don't know what that's there. There we go. You need to watch this video. When you scroll down, and here's the video. You need to watch this, and it'll give you more of the information, more of the story. All right? Now, come here. The Charter of 1732. Charter of 1732 was a document that laid out the 3 main reasons for founding the colony of Georgia. First was philanthropy, helping out other people, especially what he considered to be the worthy poor. Economics. The king's not going to do anything if he can't make money off of it. 2 biggest things he wanted to do was plant mulberry trees for silkworms to make silk cloth, and the other one was indigo. Indigo is a flower that you plant, and that's the dye that's inside there turns everything blue. Okay, it's a blue dye. You can mix it and make purple, color of royalty. That's the reason, another reason why he wanted it. Next is defense. Defense means protection, protecting yourself. Okay. South Carolina, North Carolina were having problems with the Spanish colony to the south in Florida. Therefore, James Oglethorpe said, hey, we'll help protect these people. So the colonists were enticed to come to Georgia with the promise of 50 acres of land, 1 year's supply of food, and free seed and agriculture supplies for a year. But if they paid their own passage, if they paid for their own way, they would be given 500 acres of land. That's a lot of land, folks. This incentive enticed many to come to the colony of Georgia. Although the majority of first colonists were not wealthy, they were skilled craftsmen. Although there were hopes of economic success during the trustee period, defense was the only real success. Charter 1732 also gave strict guidelines for the colonists of Georgia as well as the trustees. The trustees could not own land. So that means Oglethorpe was not allowed to own any land here. He could not be paid. That means that even though he was donating his time and his money, he couldn't charge any money for it. And he could not hold office in Georgia. So even though Oglethorpe was the founder of Georgia, he was never governor of Georgia. Okay? Because it was against the charter. For the colonists, slavery and hard alcohol, stuff like rum and other liquor, was forbidden. So in the very beginning, Georgia did not allow slavery, no slaves. That is because Oglethorpe thought it would make people lazy. If they didn't have them do their own work, he said they would become lazy. If they had slaves, they would just sit around, drink rum all day, not do anything. Okay? So it was forbidden and encouraged hard work and equal opportunity to the colonists. Catholics and Jews were not allowed within the colony, possibly lawyers as well. Defending the colony against the Spanish, the French, and American Indian invasion was mandatory. So if you were a male and of age, then you were required to fight and protect. Okay? Colonists were required to grow mulberry trees. Again, that was for the silkworms, to entice the silkworms. Silkworms spin webs that are silk, and they can be turned into silk cloth. The land they owned could not be sold, but only passed down to a male heir. Any other rules established by the trustees were to be followed, and the colonists had no voice or representation in the establishment of the rules. The trustees made the rules. The king approved the rules. Now then, here's the first assignment that you have to go through. You have to read these. Let's see what happens when I do this. There we go. Can I grab those? No, can't grab those. All right, so let's get out of that. Let's go back to here. Let's make this big where we can see it and be able to read it. Let's move this over to here. So, using what you've learned from the video, drag an X, here are the X's, over the information below that is inaccurate. So here you're going to read this part right here. Okay? I'm going to read that part. And then you're going to look at these three things that go along with this statement. Which one of these is inaccurate? The colony of Georgia during the trustee period faced the following challenges. Okay? Was it slaves would revolt and escape due to their unfair treatment? Were slaves even allowed? No, slaves weren't allowed, so it's the very first one. That one's inaccurate. Hot, humid temperatures and mosquito bites? Yes, we learned that from the video. Illness and death due to possible disease and bad water? Yes, we learned that from the video. King George, see here, let's make that bold. King George liked the idea James Oglethorpe presented. He wanted Georgia to produce the following crops. Indigo for dye? Yes, we know that. Silk for dressmaking? Yes, we know that. Cotton for clothes making? No, cotton was not a high want item at this time. All right, let's make this bold. The following rules were established in the Charter of 1732. Alcohol such as rum was forbidden to avoid lazy plantation workers who might avoid hard work. That is true. Slaves were forbidden to avoid the colonists from becoming lazy and dependent. That is true. Colonists were required to pay James Oglethorpe for his services. That one is one that is inaccurate. It was against the charter. Oglethorpe could not accept any money, did not have to be paid. Last, Georgia helped protect other English colonies like the Carolinas from southern invasion from the following. The French, that's true. Italians, I don't remember hearing anything about the Italians. The Spanish, yes, that is true. So the Italians is the one that is false. All right, guys, so that's all you have to do in that lesson. Here, okay, let's move me out of the way here. Reason for the Georgia colony, philanthropy. Tell what the word means in your own words. Use the dictionary link to help you. So if you don't know what philanthropy means, you can click on this link and it will take you to the Learner's Dictionary. You can come back over here. You can copy, and then you can paste, and then you can search up the word philanthropy. The practice of giving money and time to help make life better for other people. Okay? Family's philanthropy made it possible to build the public library. All right? Philanthropy. She started a philanthropic foundation. He is involved in various philanthropic activities. It means he's trying to help other people. So what would you put here? Helping other people. That's not how you spell people now, is it? Explain why this would benefit England. Simple. They had too many poor people. Right? Economics. Economics has to do with what? That's right, money. How is this going to help? Simple. It's going to what? Give jobs to the poor people. Defense, protect, defend. How's this going to help? Simple. They're going to protect the other colonies. Well, okay. Now then, so that takes care of those items. Here's the next one. Okay. On the following slide, create a promotional advertisement to encourage British subjects to consider starting a new life in the colony of Georgia. Make sure your advertisement includes a catchy title, so it's got to have a catchy title. Determine which of the three main reasons for starting the colony of Georgia would cause many to want to come to Georgia, and use it as a persuasion in your advertisement. So between philanthropy, economics, defense, pick one of those. Just pick one and decide which one's going to be the most persuasive in getting people to come over. Okay? Philanthropy. Are you poor? Come to Georgia. We'll give you 50 acres of land. Economics. Would you like to make money in the silk industry? Come to Georgia. We'll give you 50 acres of land and mulberry trees to plant. Defense. Do you like to fight? Do you like to scrap it out? Come to Georgia. Help us fight the Spanish, the French, and the American Indians. Okay, that's it. All right, make it persuasive. Rules and regulations expected of Georgia colonists. Okay, now then, guys, you got to remember. Sorry, I had to cough. Rules and regulations, you got to remember. First of all, no slaves. Okay, no slaves. You're expected to do hard work. Okay, hard workers and go-getters are what we want, no slaves. The other thing, no alcohol, no rum. Okay, so you're not going to be sitting around drinking all day, letting your slave do all your work for you. You're expected to come and work hard. And then at least one picture of life in colonial Georgia. Guys, this is 1730s. So go through and look. There are lots of drawings and lots of pictures and stuff like that you can Google and look up about what life was like in 1730 in Savannah, okay, as a colony. Look it up. Is well documented. There's lots of things out there, okay? And then you're going to take all that and you're going to put it on this blank slide right here. So that's the reason why slide 12 is left blank. So you're going to take all this information and you're going to put it right here on this blank slide. Okay? Then you're going to move on, and slide 13, James Oglethorpe, Mary Musgrove, and Tomochichi. Yes, I know his name sounds funny, but that was really his name. You're going to read the information about each one of these. And then you're going to do this activity. Okay? And it simply says drag and drop the tiles to the person being described. So if it's describing James Oglethorpe, you drag it over there. If it's describing Tomochichi, you grab it over there. If it's describing Mary Musgrove, you drag it over there. Okay. Next one is about the religious groups, the Jews, the Salzburgers, the Highland Scots, not a religious group, but another ethnic group that was brought in. The malcontents, not a religious group, but a group that kind of developed in the colony. And then as each one is described here, again, you just drag the card over to that. And then you're done. That's slide 22. See, not that bad, not that much, okay? So don't be overly concerned that it's a whole bunch of slides, 15 slides, oh my goodness. Most of it is just reading. There's only just a few things that you actually have to do. Hope you have a great rest of the day.